This event unfolded in the summer of 1975. If near-death experiences were topics that were in the limelight during that time, I certainly was not aware of any such phenomena. It wasn't until many years later, in the 90s, following the invention of the Internet, when I happened upon an article contributed to Dr. Raymond Moody on the subject. If you're not familiar with Raymond Moody, Wikipedia describes him as a philosopher, psychologist, physician, and author, most widely known for his books about life after death and near-death experiences, a term that he himself coined in 1975 in his best-selling book, Life After Life. I have placed a link to his website below. It was while I was reading this that I began to compare the memory of my own experience with those that Dr. Moody stated the people he researched had described. I was amazed at how strikingly similar they were. I was 18 years old at the time of my experience and had been suffering strange occurrences of severe and crippling abdominal pain, which would sometimes last for hours and then would subside for several days. This had been the case for approximately 2 months previous. It was during my last painful episode that I slowly lost consciousness and fainted in, of all places, the automotive department of a downtown store. During this unconscious state, I seemed to wake up, if you will, in a place that was more beautiful and peaceful than words can describe. I don't recall being aware of my physical self, other than having the ability to gaze out and see everything around me. I remember being aware that the temperature of the surrounding air was perfect, not too cool, nor too warm, almost as if I was no longer able to experience the sensation of temperature. This place was a beautiful field of swaying grasses and blooming flowers, as far as I could see in any direction, other than a few trees against the perfectly pastel blue skyline in the distance. I had not one single worry about anything, and was very content to be there. I realized afterwards that during this time, I didn't have feelings of grief in regard to missing my family or friends, and I didn't care if they missed me. I don't recall the thought ever even occurring to me. I felt safe and more comfortable than I had ever felt in my entire life. I don't recall seeing anyone else or having any type of conversation with anyone. As far as I remember, I was alone the entire time. I have no idea how much time passed before I regained consciousness. I didn't think to ask anyone, but I did awaken, still on the floor, to a cluster of people standing around me, and I remember feeling angry and cheated that I had to leave that happy place and return to the real world again. Although it seemed almost as if I had, I really don't believe I died. But I've puzzled over this experience ever since, wondering what really happened to me that day. The most astounding thing is that I never suffered from the abdominal pain again.